Hey beautiful Stoic souls, let me ask you this. What would happen if the planets suddenly decided to change their orbits? In other words, what would happen if the planets ignored the cosmic order? Now, the universe, as we know it, would simply stop to exist. Even the slightest deviation from the universal laws would mean the collapse of the world. Therefore, there is a universal order. There is a cosmic harmony, and it is almost a pleonasm. In skosmos, in Greek, means order or harmony. The world wouldn't exist if there was no order in the world. What physicists do, what cosmologists do, is explore the order of the universe, and so do Stoicism. They teach us to get in harmony with the universe and the world around us. Hello, and welcome to the I Am Stoic channel. We have prepared a very special video for you. I challenge your resilience to stick around until the end of the video, and watch it again if you have to, in order to gain the complete knowledge about Stoicism, because the content we are going to share today is invaluable and can impact your life in unexpected ways. You will see that Stoic philosophy has amazing relevance not only in ancient times, but also today. Let's not waste any of our time. If someone wants to steal the neighbor's car, that's fine. Do it, but expect your neighbor to retaliate. Expect to be arrested by the police and taken to court, and at that point, the person has the choice to break the rule, but at the same time, by doing so, they choose the consequences of their choice. That is the responsibility, the knowledge of the consequences of our choice, and the choice to act in that way or not. Stoicism, a philosophy founded in the 3rd century BC, arose in the 1st century BC in Greece, and has its roots in its founding by Zeno of Cizon. It is important to note that this Zeno should not be confused with Zenon the Sophist. Stoicism is a comprehensive philosophy that includes theoretical and practical aspects. The Stoics are based on the concept of responsibility. We are responsible for our actions by having to respond to them. Responding to it means accepting the consequences. To achieve this, we should submit to the moral imperatives, and if we deviate from them, we are punished or sanctioned, with no possibility of correcting our behavior, without the possibility of learning from our mistakes. This applies to morals. Now to ethics. Ethics is slightly different. That is to say, where morals command or recommend, ethics informs us what is good and informs us of the consequences of bad behavior. Ethics tells us not to act in a certain way. Ethics informs us that if we act in this way, the following consequences will occur. Therefore, there are no imperatives in ethics. There are simply warnings of the consequences of our actions. It consists of preventing the consequences of our behavior, if desired. The Stoics are based on the concept of responsibility. We are responsible for our actions by having to respond to them. Responding to it means accepting the consequences. But with the Stoics, what is the model for good behavior? Which model should we follow in our daily behavior? The answer is very simple. The model we follow in our behavior is the universal laws, the natural order, the cosmic order. The Stoic model of behavior is not a transcendent model in the sense of an authority outside the world that should guide us in our behavior. What should guide our behavior are the principles that are inherent in our world, the universe, which we will call a universal reason. For the Stoics, there is a natural order, a cosmic order. This cosmic order is nothing other than the totality of the principles and laws that make our world subscribe to, that make our world viable, and ensure that everything is in its place in the universe.
The Stoics believe that there is a cosmic reason, a cosmic order, a divine reason that is in the world and in ourselves, and that this cosmic reason tells us how to behave, how to live in the world. But this does not mean that Stoicism is a religion. It simply means that Stoicism tries to explain to us how to live in harmony with the world, which is not only our physical world, but also the human world, the social world, and political and moral world. So, for the Stoics, the idea of living in accordance with nature means living in accordance with the cosmic reason. Stoicism guides us in the choice of the best behavior in our lives by providing a simplified guide to how we should act to achieve happiness. The search for happiness has always been the ultimate goal of philosophy. Since Socrates and Plato, philosophy has the goal of leading us towards happiness, inseparably associated with wisdom. The wise person understands the world and the order of things, which makes them immune to emotional disturbances. For the ancients, wisdom meant inner peace, balance, and freedom from emotional torment. It is important to distinguish between morality and ethics. Morality is a collection of rules of conduct that are based on the distinction between good and evil. They involve blind obedience to these rules, which are considered absolute and inviolable. Morality is often enforced through punishments and sanctions. On the other hand, as in Stoicism, ethics involves the search for wise and virtuous behavior. It is based not on absolute rules, but on principles that can be discussed and understood. Ethics invites us to act according to our consideration and understanding to achieve wisdom and inner peace. Therefore, Stoicism is an ethics that teaches us to act with wisdom to achieve true happiness. But as soon as we have made this distinction between morals and ethics, we see that there is a common denominator. The common denominator is that in both cases, we assume that there is a model for good behavior. A model for good behavior means that we cannot do everything. We cannot do everything because morality will punish us, or because ethics has warned us that we must bear the consequences of our behavior. But in both cases, there is the idea that we have our actions must have a framework and boundaries set. In morality, this model for good behavior is simply the idea of good, the concept of good, with all the difficulties that come with defining it. In religion, it is God who sets the model for good behavior, be it the 10 Commandments of the Old Testament, the Word of Christ in the Gospels, or the 5 pillars in Islam. It is believed that behind the observable physical phenomena, there exists a principle that governs them, a law that guides them. Therefore, this expression of the physical law clearly expresses what it means, namely, that physical phenomena are not random or irregular and cannot be changed at any time. To talk about a physical law is to talk about metaphysics, about something that goes beyond the pure physical phenomenon. Since the physical law is not observable, it is not itself physical. There is the idea that there is a transcendent model in the sense of an authority outside the world that should guide us in our behavior. What should guide our behavior are the principles that are inherent in our world. The universe, which we will call universal reason. For the Stoics, there is a natural order, a cosmic order. This cosmic order is nothing other than the totality of the principles and laws that make our world subscribe to, that make our world viable, and ensure that everything is in its place in the universe. In other words, the Stoics believe that there is a cosmic reason, a cosmic order, a divine reason that is in the world and in ourselves, and that this cosmic reason tells us how to behave, how to live in the world. But this does not mean that Stoicism is a religion. It simply means that Stoicism tries to explain to us how to live in harmony with the world, which is not only our physical world, but also the human world, the social world, and political and moral world. So, for the Stoics, the idea of living in accordance with nature means living in accordance with the cosmic reason. The Stoics believe that we should live in accordance with this cosmic reason. And this idea of living in accordance with the cosmic reason is nothing other than wisdom. For the Stoics, wisdom is knowing how to live in accordance with the cosmic reason. So, in reality, wisdom is the first and most important virtue. However, it is important to note that the Stoics do not speak of wisdom in the sense of intelligence, of academic knowledge. For the Stoics, wisdom is a practical knowledge, that is, the knowledge that we apply in our daily behavior. Wisdom is practical because it is knowledge that guides us in our behavior. It tells us how to behave. This practical knowledge for the Stoics is called virtue. And there are 4 virtues in total: prudence, justice, courage, and temperance. Prudence is the virtue that tells us how to act, how to choose our actions. Justice is the virtue that tells us how to relate to others, how to behave in our relationships with others. Courage is the virtue that tells us how to behave in the face of difficulties, how to behave when we face a danger or a difficulty, how to behave when we are facing a challenging situation. Finally, temperance is a virtue that tells us how to control our desires, our passions, our instincts, and our impulses. The Stoic idea is that by cultivating these 4 virtues, we can live in accordance with the cosmic reason. We can live in accordance with the principles and laws of the universe. Therefore, by cultivating these 4 virtues, we can live in accordance with the cosmic order. And by living in accordance with the cosmic order, we can live a happy and fulfilled life. A life that is in harmony with the world. A life that is in harmony with the world. And therefore a life that is in harmony with ourselves. The Stoic idea is that by living in accordance with the cosmic order, we can live a eudaimonic life. A life that is in accordance with our inner daimon, our inner God. The idea of eudaimonia is central in Stoicism. Eudaimonia is the ultimate goal of Stoic philosophy, the goal of our life. So, in conclusion, Stoicism is a philosophy of ethics, a philosophy that teaches us how to live a virtuous life in accordance with the cosmic order, a philosophy that teaches us how to live a eudaimonic life, a life that is in accordance with our inner daimon, our inner God. Stoicism teaches us how to live a happy and fulfilled life, a life that is in harmony with the world and in harmony with ourselves. We hope that you have enjoyed this brief overview of Stoicism and that you will find value in its teachings as you apply them to your own life. Thank you for watching, and remember to subscribe to our channel for more content on Stoicism and other philosophical topics.